Hello there, my name is Joe Coker. I'm a Senior Business Development Manager at ALC Health. I'd like to talk to you today about international insurance and specifically premium increases that affect international private medical insurance. I'm sure if you have a private medical insurance plan that you're very used to having to combat premium rate increases every year at renewal. Now, we at ALC recognise this, and we are constantly looking at ways to try to combat this as well ourselves, and also to give you ways in which you'll be able to combat that too. So first of all, let's have a look at the reasons why you might have a premium rate increase at your renewal. This can be down to a number of reasons. The key one, and you might have heard this term bandied around before, is medical inflation. Now, medical inflation is different from the standard inflation that you might read about in the newspapers, which as we all know is hovering at a very low percentage. Medical inflation in fact is much higher. Now, the reason for this is because medical inflation is due to the increased costs of treatment, complexities, research costs that are all passed on by the pharmaceutical companies into the industry, into your treatment, and we have to pass that cost on as well. Now, to give you an example of that, I think one doctor recently in the press was quoted as saying, he's a cancer expert, that when he started out, a certain course of treatment would cost £1,000, now it's £60,000. That's an awful jump up, I'm sure you'll agree. And that's basically, in a nutshell, what medical inflation is. But there are other reasons for your premium increase. Age is another one. Now, as you get older, so it is that you're likely to claim more. And as you get older, therefore, the insurer sees you as a higher risk. Now, that's inevitable, unfortunately. We all get older and there's nothing we can do about it. But it does have a bearing on premium rate increases. Now, other matters, benefit enhancements. You can also find that your insurance company will obviously want to keep you as a customer, and we listen to our customers very closely, and they tell us they want this benefit, that benefit added into the policy. So each year we're increasing our benefits, making our plans better and working for you, but the inevitable downside of that is the increase in cost. Did you realise that there are things that you can do as an insurance policyholder with ALC to actually keep the premium increase to a minimum? Perhaps not. Perhaps you look at the insurer and point the finger and say, it's all down to you, we want you to reduce the cost for us. But you can reduce the cost as well, and there are a few very simple things that you can do to try to do that. Perhaps first and foremost, with ALC, for example, you have modular plans. And these modular plans mean that you can pick and choose the benefits that you want and leave out those that you don't. So if, for example, you've got dental included, routine dental benefit on your policy at the moment, you find you don't use it, or perhaps you have another policy that covers you for dental, you can just omit that at renewal. Just get rid of it entirely and you'll make a big saving. Another way you can actually reduce premium at renewal is by looking at a lower plan. Now, that's perhaps not such a popular option. You would like to keep your plan the way it is, but if you look at some of the other plans, they're very comprehensive, and you might find that you've actually got adequate cover by dropping down a level. One of the most popular options that we find anyway with our customers in order to try to keep the premiums increases to a minimum is by applying an excess. A lot of people have a nil excess. An excess is obviously the amount of money that you need to pay for your eligible treatment before the insurance starts to pay. Now, with an excess, you can apply a very small excess. It only applies to just inpatient and outpatient treatment once per person per year. And actually you'll find that the value of that excess is quite often a lot less than the saving that you'll actually make. Added to which, if you find you don't want an excess at the next renewal, you can just change and we don't penalise you at all. So there are some very useful tools that you can use yourselves to be able to keep premium increases down. I mentioned also what ALC can do. Well, we're we've been looking at this. Obviously, it's a key issue for us because, of course, we want to keep you as customers. We value you. Therefore, what are we doing as insurers to make sure that your premium increases are kept to a minimum? Firstly, we're working with extremely professional claims handlers. They're very efficient and knowledgeable. They're the highest ratio of medically trained staff in the industry, and that means that claims are dealt with swiftly and accurately, and that means that we don't pay claims incorrectly, which can have an adverse effect on your premiums in the future. That works very, very well. Secondly, we're looking at networks. Now, it's obviously a well-known fact that the more networks you have and the more agreements we have with hospitals around the world to be able to, they'll charge us set fees, and they won't charge us the earth, basically, when they see the words private medical insurance. And that will have an effect. Won't affect your treatment, but it will affect your premium in the future. So what else are we doing? We're looking at combating fraud. Fraud actually does have quite a large effect on your premium as well. And with industry bodies that we're members of, we have ongoing discussions with our other insurance companies to be able to make sure that fraud is kept to a minimum and is combated, and then that will actually stop fraud in the long term, hopefully, and again we'll be able to reduce premiums in the future. So I mentioned age as well as one of the things that will affect your premium and the way it increases. We can't stop you from becoming old, of course not, but what we can do is we can promote healthy living, good attitudes to exercise, some of which I might take on board myself, and also that will, in the long term, keep you healthy and mean that when you're older, you are not seen as such a risk. So I hope these things have given you a good idea about ways in which you can reduce premium, and if you've got any questions, give us a call, email us, whatever. We're always here to help, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Clive Westwood Dunkley and I'm a Business Development Manager at ALC Health. I'm here today to talk to you about international medical insurance, both what it is and who it's for. Whatever age we are, or however good we are at keeping fit, the truth is we all get ill. And when we do, it's likely that we'll look for advice or treatment from a professional. That costs money. Costs which we'd rather not be paying for things we wish hadn't happened are just the sort of costs which insurance is designed to help with. And if the worry is medical bills, the solution is medical insurance. In the UK, we're fortunate in that we already have medical insurance. Our contributions to the National Health Service mean that we don't have to make any extra payments for our operations, doctor's visits or emergency care. But worries still remain about the quality of care and how long you might have to wait to get it, which is why many people choose to buy additional medical insurance from a private company. The advantages of this are that you can be treated by hospitals or doctors working outside the state system, often providing world-class service in specialist facilities, and you don't need to worry about the expense. You can also receive treatment without waiting at a time which is convenient for you. But what if you need treatment outside the UK? In Europe, there are reciprocal agreements which allow you to be treated by the local state healthcare system as if you were in the one in your home country. But these agreements are under financial pressure and the quality of care varies between countries. If you're spending time outside Europe, then the risks are higher. If you fall ill and need hospital treatment, there's a likelihood you will have a large bill to pay, especially in some parts of the world such as the USA or Hong Kong. Medical costs of this sort can be covered by a travel insurance plan, but only up to a point. A travel plan will save your life in a medical emergency and get you back to the UK. But if you're working for several years in another country, perhaps with your family joining you, your needs will go beyond what a travel plan can cover. You may need medical care which is non-emergency, but essential. You may have a sudden recurrence of a back problem you last suffered from years ago. You may need psychiatric care. In either case, your travel plan won't help you, and you'll want to be treated locally in the country where you're now living. Sometimes there will be local medical insurance plans sold in your new country, but they might cover costs only up to certain limits, leaving you exposed to bills over that amount. They may restrict you to using certain hospitals with limited facilities or poor language skills, and they won't help you if you're on a business trip to a neighbouring country. So for real peace of mind, the answer is a fully international medical insurance plan. This will cover your medical costs wherever you are and to a very high financial value. The treatment can be emergency or routine, and with ALC you can use any medical facility, not only in the country you're living in, but when you're back home or even at a global centre of excellence in a third country. An international medical insurance plan is the ideal solution for expatriates of all nationalities. It can also make sense for people living in their home country, such as the UK, but who have regular overseas commitments, say to a property or to do with their job. The medical benefits are available to you wherever you are, at home or abroad. They mean that you don't need to worry about the cost of healthcare or its quality or access to it. We provide this type of insurance for individuals and families, and also for companies to look after their employees. For more details about how we can help you, please contact us today via our website alchealth.com. Thank you very much.